Welcome back. The National Security Minister, Senator Herman Dickel has stepped in to speak on behalf of his colleague, Tourism and Information and Broadcasting Minister Dominic Fede, following a media walkout last week. During a press conference on Thursday, Minister Fede refused to answer questions concerning the impact which could be felt on the island's tourism sector following the homicide of Robert Hathaway. On Monday, Francis defended his colleague, saying Minister Fede was simply not up to date on the matter at hand.
I need to speak on behalf of Honorable Dominic Fede, in that I was out of country, and maybe he had not met with me, he had not spoken to me, and wasn't in a position to have said anything. And it was wise on his part. I don't know whether the manner in which it was done pleased you, but I think it was wise on his part not to say anything that he is not too sure about. I am the one responsible for crime and security. And as a matter of fact, you'd have seen in the news that persons are asking for the resignation of the minister and the commissioner, because we are the ones that are in the forefront. And when it is bad, okay, we must be the ones to take the responsibilities, and I accept the responsibility.
While he agrees that the situation could have been handled differently on the side of the Tourism and Broadcasting Minister, Senator Francis says it is important to cater to the different kinds of personalities faced with daily.
Everybody is not the same. Some of us have this personality and ability to relate to people. I mean, I'm under some very serious pressure. I'm sure you'll read the nonsense that's on SLAP and other things. But at the end of the day, I have a job to do, and I cannot bring my problems to my job. The day I do that, then I have to leave the job and go and take care of my problems. So I will deal with people on SLAP in a different forum. But I will not be able to just come here and decide and say that I'm not speaking to you because persons are writing negative things about me. No.
That was Senator Herman Francis. Efforts to continue developing a framework to overcome HIV, TB, and STIs as a public health threat by 2022 is underway as the OECS Regional Coordinating Mechanism, RCM, and Global Fund met recently. Fennell Neptune tells us more.
The OECS RCM is making preparations to sign another 3-year grant proposal with Global Fund aimed at eliminating HIV, TB, and sexually transmitted infections, STIs. The project will operate in 6 participating OECS member states, that is, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Lucia, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Grenada. Project coordinator for the OECS HIV-TB grant, Dr. Cleophas Dovey, highlighted the goals of this project.
The major goals of the grant are, 1, to reduce the incidence of HIV in line with the 1990 targets, and also move towards TB elimination using the framework for low incidence countries, because the OECS countries are low incidence countries. So that's the first goal. The second goal is more or less trying to improve services for key populations for HIV, TB, and STIs, and ensuring that these services are accessible and affordable.
Minister for Health and Wellness, Senator the Honorable Mary Isaac, says this project is extremely important to St. Lucia as it addresses a critical need for persons with HIV, TB, and STIs.
This grant is aimed at assisting persons living with HIV, as well as TB and other STIs. And this is a population that usually we don't remember they exist, but they are quite challenged in that there's a lot of stigma attached to these people. So funding like that comes at a time when it is really extremely critical that these people get the funding so that they can purchase their medication and other health issues that they may have, they can take care of it through those funds.
This project is to be co-founded by the Global Fund to the tune of over US $5.5 million for the period April 2019 to April 2022. Reporting from the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, I am Fennel Neptune.
It was a proud moment for the management and staff of Wasco as the company recognized, thanked and celebrated its employees for their commitment and long-standing service for the end of the year 2018. The awards and dinner ceremony was held at the Financial Center in Point Seraphim.
And Miss Sarah Francis. We move on now to the recognition of clubs.
So the customer service department is the fact that this year Wasco got a legal connection of a hotel in the north. Tonight is indeed special. Tonight is indeed extraordinary because it's a night dedicated and set aside by the board and management for all of us as one to celebrate our collective achievement, to recognize outstanding team and individual performances, to dine and to relax. This date, 12 December, has become linked and associated with Wasco's annual dinner and recognition ceremony. And so we would like to keep it that way, meaning that you mark your calendar every year on this occasion, the 12th, as Wasco's Day.
This was to present and review the audited December 31st, 2016 financial statement. This year was particularly challenging as we were tasked in the execution of several important water redevelopment projects in Babonneau, Dennery, the JCD, Micoud, and within short, the Vieux Fort area. On August 2nd, 2018, we had the first successful annual general meeting of Wasco since the incorporation of the company on November the 1st, 1999.
You all know that, and I want to repeat the slogan that water is life, and the company is very critical to the development of St. Lucia as it pertains to economic development and social development. So you are in a company that provides a very essential commodity, water. And I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, I can live in a house without electricity, but I cannot live in a house without water.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News. Sports News with Tennyson Glasgow is up next.